UVP, USP, UPS, USPS. What the hell? Today, y'all, we are diving into UVP and USP, not your packages.
Not packages, yeah.
These are some of the most talked about, most obsessed over, and most misunderstood aspects of brand messaging. We're going to try and help you get clear on what they mean today, but more importantly, how do you even use a UVP and a USP to grow your business meaningfully? Well, stick with us. Get ready for the ride.
Welcome to the Grow Your Business for Good show. This is a place where coaches and consultants gather so you can learn how to lead a world-class business that does not tax your time, your energy, or your financial resources. We are your hosts, M. Shannon Hernandez
and Amy Hager of the Joyful Business Revolution. And our number one goal is to bring you clarity and insight on how to grow your business for good.
Now, I'm going to start by sharing something I wish every coach, consultant, and expert knew. Taking action is way more important than you spending months perfecting your USP and your UVP. In fact, Amy, over the last 12 years in business, helping people fine-tune their messaging, I can count on one hand, and y'all, I have 5 fingers on one hand. I can count on one hand the number of times UVP and USP have been at the heart of any project or client relationship. For most people that we work with, the most important thing is knowing what you do, what you bring to the table, and why it matters to your clients. Whether you want to call that a UVP, which is a unique value proposition, or a USP, which is a unique selling proposition, or a unique factor, or a unique mechanism, or your secret sauce, or your wow factor, or anything else that's distracting you from actually doing the work and getting the paid clients, it all boils down to 2 words. Why you? Why am I going to choose you? So I'm salty today. I'm spicy today. And I'm going to tell you how to quit wasting valuable time trying to get a USP, and a UVP right, unless you're working in some high-level corporate place where you have to have it completely documented. This is not worth countless hours of time and money being lost deciding what the hell these are. Amy, was that pretty direct?
It was pretty direct. And because, Shannon feels so strongly about this and that we do realize sometimes this could be holding you back. Again, I'm going to repeat. You need to move forward and take actions. And so getting your statements perfect is never going to win you sales. Action will win you sales. I always say, and I stole this from Shannon, I don't know where she got it from, but it's genius. You can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And so you sitting there and holding on to your words and not saying anything at all is never helping anyone. And so to be clear, we really mean action is marketing your business, creating content, growing and nurturing your audience, getting your emails out to either the 16 people on the list, the 1,000 people on the list, the 15,000 people on the list. It does not matter. And so while defining your USP or your UVP can be helpful to clarifying your message, remember, people buy from people they trust. So sales come from strengthening your relationships. All right. So hopefully we've made that really, really clear. And I promised that we would give some definitions of what this is in case these are new terms that you've never heard. And so we're going to take that step back now and really talk about what is a UVP, a unique value proposition. And so that is the single statement where you define your customers, how you're solving their problem, and the value it brings. And remember, you can tie it to maybe an emotion or money. So the framework that you can use, so pause here. If you do not have your pen and paper handy, hit that pause button, go grab that because I want you to write this framework down, okay? All right, the framework is we help blank, which is going to be your audience, solve the problem, and the problem is whatever your ideal customer's problem is, so they, and then the next blank is what the value is to your client. So our example of our unique value proposition, our UVP, is Joyful Business Revolution helps coaches, consultants, and experts deepen their relationships and double their revenue with 1 email per week. So you could create a real big value prop focused on price or quality or convenience or security. There's a boatload of other aspects that you can really think of that your audience is going to value. But we know our audience values deeper relationships, doubling their revenue, and they want to do it in 1 email per week. So that's what a lot of people end up overthinking, is all of those things, because there's a boatload of different aspects that you can choose from. And so I suggest, again, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Fill in those blanks and move on. And you can fine tune your messaging and marketing once you're in conversations, once you're having sales conversations, and you can always come back and revisit this. This is going to grow and change with you. It is not something that you are etching in stone in, Athens, Greece, that's going to be there for a bajillion-and-one Olympics and beyond.
We're really excited about the Olympics.
Yeah, we are.
We're taping this during the women's gymnastics something that I'm missing, but I will come back to it. I promise. I am dedicated to your getting unstuck of the UVP and USP.
Yes.
All right.
So
beautiful.
what is the USP, Shannon?
Yeah. So UVP is unique value proposition. USP is your unique selling proposition. This focuses more on getting the sale by speaking to the customer's needs. Okay. The UVP looks at the overall brand and might tie in into your vision. The USPs are now focused and show customers the specific benefit for them. Okay. My example for JBR here is our USP is deepen relationships and double your revenue with 1 email per week. Okay. It's related to the UVP, but it's focusing more on the outcome than a vision. And for those of you that know me and you know me well, I can have visions all day long, but the reason this brand is successful and the reason we have the clients making the success that they do is because I actually lead with the selling proposition. I don't need to get people on board with the vision of joy. I don't need to get people on board with the vision of what their business looks like 5 years from now. My jam is email strategy that deepens relationships and doubles revenue. And it's very tangible to people. Now, do we talk about their vision? Yes. Do we talk about their joy? Yes, but it's not what I lead with. Okay. So what can you say to pique your audience interest and make them stand up and say, ooh, I want that. I want 1 email a week that deepens relationships and doubles revenue. Okay. It's so important that more than getting the statement right, maybe you get the statement right for yourself and all your content is around it, but you're not publishing the statement 5 times a day. You've got to create better content, better messaging, better marketing. All right. So if you've done the work of defining a USP and a UVP, Amy, what are some ways, like practical ways they can actually start using those statements to grow their business?
Yep. So I would start with making sure that you define your vision and your values so that you can clearly state what you want your business to stand for. And if you're not for sure about how to create your vision and your values, we talk about that in a past episode. And again, when you think about what we stand for here at the Joyful Business Revolution, we value email marketing, we value deeper relationships, and we value revenue. And so those are all in our statements. Another thing that you can be doing is researching your target audience so that you can get clear on who they are, what they want, and where they hang out. By showing up in places where that you're going to enjoy and that they're hanging out is really going to be key. If you're a live in person and you love speaking, like I do, I'm live in person as a content personality type. One thing that I realized this last year when I go speak to business owners who belong to local chambers, I really got clear that the business owners that we want belong to chambers that are larger, meaning the community is going to be a little bit larger. So I really look at speaking at chambers who have at least one full-time executive director and a part-time staff person. And by getting really clear, that's where my audience hangs out. That makes the activity of speaking in person that I love doing so much more successful because successful experts and business owners are attending those events that those chambers are hosting. Another really good place to start is defining your offers and the problems they solve to your audience. Like if you can't sit there and write down your offer and problem solved, and it ends up being a page long, we've really got to dive in deeper and get that a lot clearer so that you are speaking to the most ideal client possible. And like I suggested, creating that UVP from the formula that I mentioned before, it doesn't have to be etched in stone. It doesn't have to be as specific if you're starting out, but you do need to make sure that you get it rolling out. Start simple. And if you start sharing that UVP everywhere and you start showing up, you will get clearer on it from conversation. You will get clearer on how to position and how to say that, and how then it will really create that deeper connection so that people trust you and they understand what you're up to and how you can help them.
Yeah, Amy, this is this is reminding me that if you remember, I went to an event last Thursday and I was so disappointed because I'd been looking forward to it for so
Yeah.
long. And everyone listen, this happens. This really does happen where you have to give communities time to see if your people are there. I gave this community about a year on and off. And when I was sitting at the table at the luncheon, and I would say to my table of 8 or 10, however many were there, yeah, I really help business owners deepen relationships and double revenue with one email a week. You can tell if they even are on the same planet. All right. Yeah. Everyone at this table, there was 2 people who were bankers, so they have no, it's not for them. It doesn't make it bad or wrong. It's just not for them. The other 6 people were using the word side hustle.
Yeah.
Okay. Side hustlers, they're not thinking about email doubling revenue or anything. They're side hustling. All right. So when you have this defined and it's working for you, it can help you, like Amy said, vet places, make your decisions faster. Are these my people? So there is value in it, but it's not something that should be taking you 6 months or a year to frickin' create. Yeah. That's my stance on it. Okay. So if you feel like you have an offer that you love, it's working well, you're selling it, you know, it helps people, you have testimonials for this, I'm going to ask you what might happen when you add your values, your selling proposition, your vision into your messaging. And if you're not sure, I'm going to ask you to trust me on this. You will start selling more of your offers, more than you ever probably thought possible. And so as a loyal podcast listener, we have something special just for you this season. You can join us in our email messaging and marketing mentorship program called the Content Personality Club. And because you have listened to this episode, you can use the code podcast500 to receive a discount on your enrollment, where we dive in and do this work with our clients every single week, week after week.
Awesome. And if you stay tuned for our next episode on brand messaging, we will dive into choosing your brand objectives and why that matters for your brand strategy. So we'll see you next time, y'all. Bye.
Adios.